times where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Going up top. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Here's the offensive unit coming out onto the field in just a moment. Randall Cobb, very good at wideout.
Went to college to be a quarterback. Discovered his talents couldn't be limited to one position. He's a 1,000-yard receiver every year for his quarterback.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. He completes it to Jordy Nelson.
And the 2016 NFL Comeback Player of the Year was Jordy Nelson. He had a fantastic year after the knee injury in 2015. Well over 1,000 yards again. And once again, he was the #1 target for Aaron Rodgers.
NFL high 14 receiving touchdowns. What dimension does he add that makes them so good on offense?
Dependability as well as speed. All right? Jordy Nelson's the type of guy who can run any route you want. Yet he can also take the top off of a defense, as we like to say, by running past people. It's a heck of a combination to deal with. Plus, Aaron Rodgers knows when he gets in trouble, he just looks for Jordy Nelson, and 9.9 times out of 10, he'll find a way to get open.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Rodgers now on first down. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Packers have taken the early lead. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this does not end well, as he's going to be out of bounds here at his own 5-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they...
And got his man complete. And all the way to the opposite 48. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Now Carr. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To throw, it's Carr. Caught left side to Crabtree. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield. We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. And here's another. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Picked off by Micah Hyde. The 30. Past the 20. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And what a way to take over as they've got it with a 1st and goal. And now the offense operates in the red zone. 1st and goal, they'll look to smash it in. Maybe a quarterback sneak here. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I don't know if there's any other way to put it, but that play was blown up right from the snap. How about the guys on the defensive side of the ball? It's almost like they were in the offensive huddle.
Yeah, it's one thing to stand him up from that 1-yard line. Pushing him back to the 5, though. Wow.
Now,
touchdown, Packers. Jordy Nelson from 4 yards out. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Murray the lone setback. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mike Daniels in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing, the O-line coach will.
Latavius Murray, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And now it's 3rd down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Forced out to his left. And Incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
And from their own end zone, it's a fake. Oh, but he'll be stopped well short of the first down marker, and it's a turnover on down.
I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Rodgers Packers going up against Carr's Raiders. Oakland, so we'll hand it over to our colleagues, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, after an off-season of questions, football is back here in the East Bay and Oakland, California. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Green Bay Packers and the Oakland Raiders. Here's Taiwan Jones on the return. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start. First carry for Latavius Murray. And blocked down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Murray had the 1,000-yard season in 2015, followed that up with 788 last year. Now, also in the mix in Oakland, you had Washington, you had Richard, How do you see this backfield playing out going forward?
I think you'll see a similar combination going forward. I think that's one of the reasons that he dropped from a 1,000-yard runner to 788, because they had other options. They're able to bring in Washington, Richard. They can use different plays for those guys, a lot of versatility, and really upgrade their offense with an infusion of speed. But Latavius Murray, I think he'll still continue to be the lead guy out of that trio.
Flush to his right. His throw incomplete. And Mr. Cooper, Amari, a headliner in this offensive unit.
Brandon, it's rare that you get guys so polished coming out of college, but Amari Cooper has carried himself like a pro probably since he was 6 years old. He is a terrific talent.
They'll run here. It's Murray. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
No gain, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Carr. A right side catch by Crabtree. And for that man, Crabtree just finished his 8th NFL season. Of course, the first 6 in San Fran, last 2 with the Raiders. Barely topped the 1,000-yard mark, but he did 1,000. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
This is fielded inside the 5. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. And not great starting field position here for the offense. Back near the goal line. Here's Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as...
He's got a man, complete. Jordy Nelson all by himself. Touchdown, Packers. Jordy Nelson, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, it's time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll come out in the pistol.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah.
He rifles one that's intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And this whole...
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, and it's third down. Quickly now, the starting 11 for the Oakland defense.
Dan Williams might as well change his name officially to Big Dan Williams. A monster in the middle, holds down the run game against any team.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Throwing is Rodgers on, and he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
Now Jones. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They go back to Murray on 1st down. And a cut to the left sideline. Latavius Murray. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Latavius Murray, 60 yards. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And they will not get it. It's now they get ready to head back on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, try to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
6 yards here to go for the offense on 2nd down. They'll come out in the pistol. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a 1st down. shift together here from the D-line. Rodgers now on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
Throwing is Rodgers, and it's hauled in by Jared Cook. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Amari Cooper, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Cooper will come in motion right. That was 2nd down run for Murray. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. And for Clinton-Dix, he had 80 of those tackles this past season, 5 interceptions. Got him to a Pro Bowl in his hometown of Orlando.
How about that? That's going to be an incredible thrill for Clinton-Dix to be able to come back to his hometown. He played at Dr. Phillips High in Orlando before going off to the University of Alabama and playing the Pro Bowl in front of all of his friends and family. And he's going to be a huge building block for Green Bay in 2017. Him at the safety position. They have to get better at the corners. But, of course, Clay Matthews is still there, too, terrorizing quarterbacks.
Walford in motion, the tight end. They'll try and run with Murray. But he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Give him 16 yards on the play. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Carr now on 1st down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They go play action for Murray. Now Carr. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown one interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
On third down, Murray. Murray fighting, lost the football, and the Packers pick it up. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something go.
Try to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Super Bowl MVP, Malcolm Smith. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Carr to throw on second down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out, you see, and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at.
Michael Crabtree's going to go. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Michael Crabtree, 73 yards. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Great corner out there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. It's a gain of 24 that time. And it'll be a Green Bay first down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive, there he hits the reliable target. Little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline that's kind of interesting. LA a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have 2 with the move from San Diego to LA. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles.
Less culture shock.
Less culture shock, less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition that still is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium, essentially, for at least the first couple of years before they share a stadium with the Rams. So that changes things. Obviously, trying to create an identity in the market they haven't been in a long time. They began as the Los Angeles Chargers, but only played 1 season as such.
In motion right comes Cobb. Now a play fake here on first down. It's brought in by Janis. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Cobb in motion right. Rodgers again now. And incomplete on the deep ball. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Again, we'll see the pistol here. On play action, it's Rodgers. It's caught. Nelson. 23 yards on the play. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They go play action here on first down. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jared Cook as the first half is winding down. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Here's Carr to throw, surveying the field. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's second down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And they're going to speed things up here.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Dan Williams there to make the tackle.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him. And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Try to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Alden Smith there on the tackle. They're going to hurry back to the line now. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. Calling an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on third and just a yard. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut. And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. This is Cobb with a catch right side. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. And not what you're looking to do on 3rd and 1, completing the pass, but going backward. I have zero explanation for that because 3rd and 1, you just figure snap, throw, first down, right? Easy play. But end up losing yardage on it. That's hard to account for. And the wideout in motion. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. Incomplete. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not? It certainly is, and even before we get to the draft, you start with the combine, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams. So your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction, and then you have the OTAs and mini camps. You get to see them on the field for the first time, and we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins. The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
He has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. Here's Marquette King now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taken in at the 11. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch here as this offense will come on deep in their own territory. They come up in an offset eye, and he motions the wide receiver.
26.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Randall Cobb on the breakaway. He's at the 30. Touchdown, Packers. Randall Cobb, 96 yards. And the Packers add on to their lead. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, the conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, punt the ball away, but no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And now they're in the hurry-up. Now Carr. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year.
Well, 3 that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota, remember the start they got off to before that didn't work out so well for them. Arizona, we thought they were a lock to be in the playoffs. In fact, many of us called them Super Bowl contenders. And Carolina, the defending NFC champs going into last season, they didn't make it. So I think that all 3 could return to former glory. I'm going to give you one way off the pace here. You ready?
Let's go.
The Los Angeles Rams. Ooh. They get the young quarterback going, and that defense continues to live up to expectations. They can make a real strong push in the West.
They've got the D. You're right. They just need the O. Fresh set of downs here. Murray the lone setback. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Letting one go deep for Roberts. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Back now in the East Bay. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. So 2nd and 10 here. And some extras coming up on the line here, ready for the blitz. They go play action for Murray. Now Carr. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Mike Daniels in there to bury him for a loss of 11. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack, although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't, because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that, and the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you face an intentional grounding call.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Another pistol look here. Now Carr looking for Crabtree, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense. And they
and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Sean Smith. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. And quickly, they get to the line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Throwing now is Carr. And his throw is incomplete. The big tight end, Clive Walford, the intended target. And it's 3rd and 5.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass, excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Carr. And this is caught. It's Cooper. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They'll try and run it in with Jones. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Here's Carr to throw. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
So they were stopped trying to run the ball on 1st down. Now they take a sack on 2nd down. The offensive coordinator's got to find a way to flip the script on the defensive coordinator, because right now the defense has the advantage.
Carr now to throw. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary 1st step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and it didn't do it very often.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
Three yards to go here on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. They're just 4 yards. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Rodgers throwing here. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by David Anderson. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. There's none too clean.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The 40, 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, 93 yards. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up.
Love the excitement we got going here. They just scored the touchdown. They're down by 1. How much fun is it now to figure out the possibilities? Kick the extra point and tie it. Go for 2 if they're really feeling in a gambling mood. What do you do in this situation?
I think you kick the PAT.
Yeah, I do too. Kick it, get my defense ready, and try and stop them one more time.
On the return, this is Micah Hyde. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Rodgers to throw. Being chased out left. Now he's going to let it go deep. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the former Eagle, Nate Allen. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. They're on the outskirts of field goal range here in the tie game with a little time. So how do you handle this? What do you do here, Charles?
Everybody wants to pick up as much yardage as possible. But the weird part is for field goal kickers, being in really close sometimes puts more pressure on.
And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Cooper, the man in motion right. Again, it's Murray. They find some open field here. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Latavius Murray, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points.
Did you see them hold up 4 fingers at the start of the fourth quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The fourth quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do?
Randall Cobb on the breakaway. The 20. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked before he can get rid of the football. And they remain down by a point. The Packers got it. Yep, Green Bay football. A field goal will do it for them. They got the onside kick that they needed here. We'll see if they can do the rest.
Some teams are just not comfortable waiting to see what happens. Some teams like to force the action. That's exactly what we saw with this onside kick.
Shift together here from the D-line. Back to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short. And the offense moving quickly to the line. He'll look to throw. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Eagle, Nate Allen. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Always, hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to...
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So the game here... Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So the game here hangs on the right foot of Mason Crosby. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And this one is right through. And there'll be some happy cheeseheads tonight as the Packers have won the game.
second body cost a lot. After I bought it, I just wore it home. Reading philosophy and gossip rags. Spending my bottom dollar on my toes. I'm a pacifist who's not